Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I am going to show you the books that I recently unhauled. This has been rather spontaneous, but I feel like this is definitely necessary. I thought I had only books that I really wanted to get to, but some of them are like, it would be cool to get to them, but I don't need them now. So if I want to get to them in the future, I'm going to pick them back up. But these are all going on my eBay, so if you live in Germany or somewhere in that region, let's go through these books. So this one I have already read, and that is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. And I absolutely love the cover, but unfortunately I didn't really enjoy the story. This is about a boy who lives in a majority Mormon area, I think. So there's some drama with religion and stuff because he falls in love with this Mormon guy. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything special, so I don't feel like keeping it. Then I'm going to unhaul The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This was the first book that I finished this year. I think it might have been because I listened to the audiobook, but I just didn't really connect with the story. I didn't find it entertaining, so I'm going to get rid of this one. I actually already sold this one. But yeah, if I do want to come back to this one in the future, I'm going to get a more beautiful copy. Then I'm going to get rid of Eliza and Her Monsters. I read this one this year as well, and it was alright, but just not for me. With contemporaries it's really hit or miss, but I didn't really end up liking the story, so I'm going to get rid of this too. Then a German book that I don't feel like keeping. I enjoyed this one, but yeah. It is called Clans of London, and I don't need this. This one is also read already, and that is The Long Walk by Stephen King or Richard Bachman. And I read this in May, I think, and it was definitely enjoyable, but again, I don't feel like I need to keep this copy. I'm also going to unhaul this version of Solitaire by Alice Oseman. This was a review copy that I accidentally bought online, which is actually forbidden. So I listened to Solitaire a few weeks ago and I didn't enjoy it, so I don't need this. Then I also have this copy of Solitaire that I don't feel like keeping. If this doesn't get sold on my eBay, I might keep it because I like having like the matching editions for like radial silence, for example. And together with like Loveless and I Was Born This Way, like that would look amazing, but that's the only reason that I am going to keep this for. But if it's getting sold, even better. I'm also going to get rid of Darkwood by Gabby Hutchinson Crouch. This is a middle grade book and about like a dark forest. It was fun when I read it, but I just don't feel like keeping this. And I'm currently reading the sequel, so I'm definitely interested in the series, but I don't feel like keeping it, you know? This one is also already sold, and that is, well, what's the name of this? I forgot the original title for this book, but this book by Margaret Owen, you probably recognize this by the cover. This was in a Fairy Loot box, but I'm still kind of interested in reading this, but it's not really high up on my TBR, so I'm going to get rid of this one. And if I do end up picking it up, I am going to buy the English copy. And it's also sold already, which is amazing. And this one is also sold, and I was thinking about this for a while now because the cover is absolutely gorgeous. The Hazelwood by Melissa Elbert, but this doesn't really have good reviews and it's said to be kind of problematic, and I'm not really interested in reading this one. So even though the cover is absolutely stunning, I'm going to get rid of this. Then I'm going to unhaul The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And I tend to not really enjoy middle grade, so I don't even know why I have this. So then another German book that I don't feel like keeping. I don't remember what this is about. I have no interest in reading this one. Also, this copy of The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This is obviously the German one, and I bought the English box set, so I don't need this one either. Another German book by Mechtel Gläser. I'm kind of interested in this, but also not really. I'm probably never going to get to this, so. And then I'm going to unhaul my Fairy Loot edition of Incendiary. I think I showed this in my recent book haul, but I don't really love the cover, to be honest. And the German translation is coming out in December, I think. So, and it looks way better in my opinion, and that's the only reason I'm hauling this. I know it's shallow, but it's also a way to kind of reduce my TBR. I'm also going to unhaul Enchantment of Ravens. This is the German copy once again, and if I do want to pick this up sometime in the future, I'm definitely going to read this in English. I'm also going to unhaul The Last Magician and The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell, just because these copies are a bit damaged and like I don't love them. But I have the German edition and I kind of prefer this. I know this is so shallow. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the only reason. Next up we have Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Skye. I heard very bad things about this and I'm not interested in reading this, so I'm also going to unhaul Muse of Nightmares, the paperback, because I do own the hardcover now with the orange sprayed edges, so I don't need this. And lastly, The Poppy War, the German edition, because I ordered the English one. Hi, this is me from the future. It's been a few days since I filmed this little video, and I have since unhauled a couple of more books, so I'm going to show you these as well. First up we have Spinning Silver and Abruzzi by Naomi Novik. These are both the German editions, obviously, and the Illumicrate special editions are coming out like in a couple of months, and I managed to get a subscription for Illumicrate, so I think I'm definitely going to get these two editions, and they're so beautiful, so I don't need these editions. Then I also put Sadie on my eBay. I read this a couple of weeks ago. It was enjoyable. I love the audiobook, but I just don't feel like I need this copy. And I also didn't really love it, so I don't need this, honestly. So I didn't want to unhaul this originally. But I just don't feel like I need this copy. Like with contemporaries, I think I have to stop buying them. I enjoyed Radio Silence. I don't have the need to keep this. Like if I didn't absolutely love it. Yeah, I don't need this even though I love the cover. Yeah. Okay, so I also put these two books on there, Get a Life Chloe Brown and Take Hand Danny Brown. I just recently bought these and I felt like I was going to love this, but I gave the first one 3.5 stars. I haven't read this one. These are both signed editions. I'm just going to put them on my eBay. Why do I keep buying contemporaries? This one is a bit controversial. I am going to unhaul Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I enjoyed this, but again, I don't need this in my collection. So now for the ones that I haven't read yet, I'm going to unhaul The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. I'm still very interested in the story, but I have so many books in my TBR that have a higher priority for me. I'm also going to get rid of these two German books. This is a duology about like demigods, I think, Greek demigods. And I was originally really interested in the series, but I'm just not going to get to it if I have like such a high TBR. I'm also going to unhaul The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. I haven't really heard good things about this, and I'm still interested in picking up the audiobook, but that's about it. And with this one, I'm still interested in reading about the story. I like the cover, but I'm going to get rid of The Book Jumper by Mechthild Glaser. This is also translated. This is basically, I think, like about characters in books and they jump from book to book. I don't know. The protagonist can jump into these stories. That's like interesting, but I don't know. I wish there was an audiobook for this. If there is, please let me know. I'm definitely going to listen to that, but I'm probably never going to pick this up physically, so. I also really had to think about this one, but I decided to also get rid of The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg. This is, I think, like Westworld, where you can basically go to this like amusement park and these women are there to make you happy and stuff, but they're like actually robots and they're not supposed to have feelings, I think, but then they start getting feelings. Wow, I'm really bad at describing books. This sounds super interesting to me, but again, I don't know. If there is an audiobook for this, I'm going to listen to that. But yeah, I'm not going to pick it up physically probably. I also unhauled all of the books in the Name of the Wind series. I had the German edition, so The Name of the Wind. And then the second one is called The Wise Man's Fear. That was split into 2 books and then also a novella. Yeah, and I already sold these. And the seller actually wrote me like, oh, thank you for sending me these books. I didn't even know one of them was signed. And I was like, wait, what? One of them was signed? What? Like, this is like evidence that I buy too many books that I just don't read. And then something like this happens. It's signed by... what's the author? It's signed by Patrick Rothfuss. But anyway, these were all the additional books that I'm going to unhaul. And now back to my past self. So yeah, these were all of the books that I'm going to unhaul. This definitely felt very good. So I might do this more often in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye, guys.